what you're saying is, ego is useful because it means that I can be ambitious and I can succeed. So the importance is being given to succeeding and not to the ego. So you're saying, so that I can succeed, so that society can function, we need the ego. But what we see being demonstrated by the people who have conquered their ego, by the saints, by the gurus, the Brahmgyanis, they're not sitting there useless. They're still getting a lot of things done. Guru Nanak Dev Ji achieved a lot. Guru Gobind Singh Ji achieved a lot, and he didn't need the ego to achieve that. What you're saying is, and it's an intellectual exercise, which is, I think that if I lose my ego, I'm going to sit and be home and be happy all day, and that's not useful to anyone. Realistically, what we've seen is the ones who have dropped their ego, and by ego, let's clarify what we mean is this narrative of self-referencing all the time and only worrying about your own problems. The ones who dropped the self-referencing to their own problems then were in a position to start listening to everyone else's problems. They actually started doing more seva. They started saying, I'm no longer now concerned with my own well-being. My own well-being is not the highest priority. And as soon as that became not the highest priority, you started to hear the dukh of the rest of the world, the suffering of the rest of the world, that your priority now became to alleviate the other people's suffering. So the ones who don't have an ego, I don't believe sit at home and just with a big smile on their face. I think they actually start helping as much as possible. But it's an intellectual debate. I don't know what it's going to be like to have no ego, and that's why we don't know how to answer that question from our own experience. I can say that I've had glimpses, moments where I can say, I think I don't have an ego within this moment. I think that's the experience. Or even to be able to articulate it brings the ego back in. But I can say from my own subjective experience that there have been moments of non-ego, but not minutes or hours or weeks or days. So I don't know what it's like to act in a lifestyle without the ego. But I think it's an interesting perspective to say the ego might be useful. What I'm saying is that let's go with the Guru's perspective. I don't believe Guru talks in that way. I don't believe the Guru says, have 10%, get rid of 90%. The Guru is actually saying, Haume dirag roga hai. It's the ultimate disease that you have. Get rid of it. It's destroying you. So the sense that I am is the issue there. So it's an interesting way to think, and I applaud you for saying that actually there might be some benefit to it because I can help myself and I can help others. That probably goes back to just having a seva mindset that we talked about before, which is that you just want to benefit yourself and benefit others. And I think that's a very practical way to have your mind. Because in reality, yes, go earn. You're not going to be able to do anything if you don't have food on the table and a roof to live under. So I think it's a very healthy way to live, but I don't necessarily subscribe to the idea that I need an ego to do all that.